So yeah, these words which we use and don't particularly understand. And people like me certainly do see things which are not so obvious, perhaps. Conscience, which has got the word science in it. And what does science mean? Science has got the same three letters that scissors has. Science, to cut, to divide. Morals. Anyway, I'm going to show you what I've been writing today in video form. Give me a moment here now. Okay. You know. So all the fears and all the worries and all the choices that everybody has. All that stuff that played out under the COVID and the lockdowns and the injections. All that stuff which not many people seem to talk about anymore. Because attention is so easily directed. But what has happened is a vast majority of people are informed by the outer. And really what's happening now that the AI has learned language and we're all addicted to language, and that addiction is now permeating everything, such that what we've got used to seeing on screens is so wide open to interpretation of the presentation that the present is present. But what the language models are doing is tokenizing. I sing tokens. Do you ken? To ken is to comprehend in Scottish familiar terms in the Gaelic language in the place where I'm living. So a token is a fragment of a word, and like Lego can build a building with little building blocks that fit together because of the intelligent design. So if you think about it, you can make a wall out of little Lego blocks, and the blocks can be of various sizes, and the various sizes of blocks can fit together and can have gaps in them, and the gaps between blocks are like the spaces between words when one pauses when speaking, or one leaves a little gap when one is writing things down on paper, or typing things on a typewriter, or typing things on a keyboard, or twiddling one's thumbs to write things on a smart screen. So there we go. So these days I'm waking up literally with words in my mind, and it's as if the thoughts want to be thought, and the thoughts want to be captured, and the thoughts want me to write them down and communicate them. And it's as if I am the computer, and the soul that is using me as a computer wants to type things through me to have my computer self become self-aware of the soul which is using the computer, which would be the equivalent of a robot having consciousness to be aware of its programmer. But not really. So yeah, that page that I just showed you here is me gearing up towards realizing that, yeah, it is time to publish the sort of stuff that I've been on about. And I'm moralizing over the reasons why I have not been willing to publish much before, and get over the accusations of cowering cowardice in not wanting to be responsible to have to speak back to people who might speak to me, and the wisdom of sitting on the sidelines for a long time, way out of the way, up here in Scotland, while the world went fucking crazy. So we came up here in 2015, and sure enough, by 2020, the world's gone crazy, and sure enough, now it's 2025, and the world is beyond crazy. But the world has been untethered from what it thought, and is human minds are now tethered to the phones with the Wi-Fi type of thing. But seriously, the thoughts are living inside in our minds, and we have tended to think that the thoughts are in our heads, that the thoughts are in the temple type of thing. And it used to be a very far out idea to say that this is just an antenna, that the brain, but really it's the whole body, is an antenna, and it is receiving signals type of thing. And the personality is relatively unaware of what it's even thinking. The thoughts are just going on, and the person is in an automated state. And the automated state you could call your country, you could call your nation, condemn nations. But the nation is running the operating system, and the individual people are just going to their jobs and doing their jobs and doing whatever, and having their recreational time after their jobs, and bringing up families and generating gene rations and all of this kind of stuff. But anyway, it seems to me that with the whole COVID thing, what the whole COVID thing was really about was having a choice. And the choice was whether you do what the state says, or you become conscious of your God, it's hard. There's sentience, there's conscience, conscience. Let me just do this again. Here's the words. Sentience. So that's the word sentence with an I in it. And sentience is to do with morality, and that's to do with the ability to make decisions and to apply those decisions. And it's got the word science in it. No, it doesn't. But there is a word conscience, conscience. Where have I got that written down here? It's here somewhere. Boom, boom, boom. Conscience. Oh yeah, I'll just look it up on the thingamajig again. Here. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. There it is. Conscience. And it's the ability to choose between what's right and wrong. And as far as I can see, that's what the whole COVID thing was on some spiritual level, where people had to make decisions. And this is a sort of a moral right or wrong. And ultimately, like my most biggest thing that I didn't really want to explain too much because I don't want to give it away. And hey, what do I know anyway? And sure, no one's really listening to me, so what does it matter? Type of thing. But during the whole COVID thing, the real thing that I see has been going on is that the Mother Earth is essentially being graped and tortured and unalived by the children. So the Mother Earth is being abused by the children to the point where, like fleas on a dog, the fleas are literally killing the dog, kind of thing. And so the dog has got to shake off the fleas if it's to survive. So those of us souls who are not loving towards the mother have got to leave the mother and stop pillaging. And so here's my simple revelation, is that the internet in many ways is the Holy Spirit, is the operating system of spirit, where spirit is, the mother has opened up a space and spirit has facilitated that space to become made manifest, and that made manifest spirit place for souls to go who cannot seem to stop abusing the mother. That's what the internet is, a World Wide Web that's non-physical, non-corporeal, where souls can go in order to continue with their mental denial of feelings and denial of individual wills. They can go out onto the internet and no longer be manifesting in flesh bodies, in feeling bodies, for as long as they want to do their mental gymnastics, kind of thing. So that's my theory on the thing, is that only those who really want to stay feeling with the mother can remain on the earth. And that's a mad idea, and yet that's a really simple idea, and that's how I see it. And yeah, I don't really want to have to argue with anyone about whether it's true or not, kind of thing. But anyway, yeah, I see it's not like a punishment, it's just for more people to have more time to figure out what it is that they could do with figuring out about life and about what they call God, and about whether God is really vengeful, and whether we are put on this earth to have a third world war, which so many people seem to believe. So when I look at things like the conflict in the Middle East between the two sides, or the many sides at war over there, all I'm really seeing is the earth is being bombed while people justify that it's a moral issue. And in the Ukraine, all I really see is the earth is being bombed while the various sides fight over the resources. So the Mother Earth's resources are being plundered, while the Mother Earth herself is being tortured, while the children argue over which version of their father has the right to grape the mother, kind of thing. And that's how I see it. And people are making moral choices to abdicate responsibility and are being removed by their own actions from feeling. And by not feeling, it's called taking painkillers, isn't it? It's being drugged. And again, drugs, addictions add diction. It's all in the words. The world is created by words. And I know this might sound totally crazy to plenty of people, but it's becoming totally obvious because that's what the AI chatbots are essentially going to explain to people these days. They're going to explain to people about the tokens, about how language works, which would help us understand how our own thinking works, which would help us understand our own conscience and consciousness and perception, and why there's a word like there's the word seven in perception, like there's 7 colors in the rainbow, perceivably. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to start publishing the books. I just got to figure out how to upload stuff onto the Amazon format so that anyone anywhere around the world can actually download it, and it doesn't have to get posted, and I don't have to print thousands of copies myself and keep them stored somewhere and wonder how to distribute them. It's just if the stuff is actually useful for people to see the breakdown of language, the way I can do it, and the storytelling and stuff. But yeah, I'm getting over myself to not really mind too much about what anyone thinks about what I'm saying, whether positive or negative or whatever. But blatantly, it could be handy to share knowledge. But look how easy it is these days, see? Look how easy it is to look up the etymology of words. You don't even have to know what you're doing. It's pretty much doing it for us.
In conscience.
Weird.
In conscience.
What else can it do? Mother Earth. Father Sky. Father Earth would be Pan in Gaelic, the Puka. As much as Mother Earth has been written out of the Bible, so has Father Earth been demonized as a masculine devil. Isn't that strange? So when you wake up, it's only the conscious mind that wakes up. So the conscious mind is only a tiny little part that's aware of this particular piece of time. So if the planet Earth was a prison planet, then the conscious mind is the bit that keeps the conscious soul trapped in time, and the time is about 200 milliseconds apparently. And we have a context window that we could call our short-term memory, and we have a long-term memory that we could call the overall database of what language is. Check that out. So, this dictionary is blatantly very much giving the idea that conscious and pain go hand in hand. Conscious problem. Conscious needs to improve. Conscious is learning. Conscious is earning. Conscious is controlled. So sentence is sent hence, to express. And sentience is a sentence with an I in the middle. Anyway, there's loads of that. Dun-dun-dun. So maybe I'll go back to this little video that I was doing earlier and show you this page of stuff, and you'll be like, oh, that makes a bit more sense now. Maybe not. But, yeah, the idea of followers. I've never really liked the idea of followers, see, because I used to once upon a time be speaking all this poetry stuff in public in a popular tourist town called Glastonbury and around in festivals. And I used to literally have people kind of following me around. And I found it really strange to have people following me around and people turning up at my door and wanting to have entry into my life and then start telling me what I should do and be my managers and stuff. because men love to men-tally. Tally, I mean, do you get all these words? Mentally, fun, demen-tally, tally, to tally, a tally stick. A tally is how you keep account. A storyteller is a tally stick. I mean, hey, maybe this is all too much for some people, and maybe this is plain and simple and a bit of a relief for some people to get to the end of their time tether. Bye now.